Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Allahumma barik ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin kama barakta ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. This is a translation of a dars given by Imam Sahib. Imam Sahib says that Huzur has recently instructed his Jamaat, and it's a very emphatic instruction that they should read the Prophet ﷺ book called Kashti Nuh, or Noah's Ark. In this book, the Prophet ﷺ says that there are three main sources of guidance for a believer. The first is the revealed word of Allah and the book of Sharia, that is the Holy Quran, and the second is the Sunnah of the Holy Prophet ﷺ, that is, and the recorded manner of actions which he demonstrated. But when he demonstrated via his actions the teachings contained within the Holy Quran. And the third source of guidance are the Hadith of the Holy Prophet ﷺ, which record the blessed sayings and the events that occurred in his life are mentioned. From today to in the next few days, we shall all study a tradition in which the background and the events that occurred at the time of the migration of the Holy Prophet ﷺ from Mecca to Medina are mentioned. And this whole hadith has come to us as uttered by the blessed tongue of Hazrat Aisha Zanha. Hazrat Aisha Siddiqa Zanha has done a huge favor on the whole ummah, indeed on the whole world, that she was fortunate enough to see the Holy Prophet ﷺ from close quarters from an early age, and then she very clearly explained them, and in doing so she left us a huge store of knowledge as an inheritance for us. And the event of Hijrah is one such hadith that she narrates in this tradition. So this begins with the mention of Abu Bakr Zanhu, who was the first among the men to accept Islam, and the Holy Prophet ﷺ, as soon as he heard the claim, he immediately believed in him and became Muslim. Hazrat Aisha Zanha explains in this tradition, she narrates tradition which has been taken from Bukhari. She says that whenever, since she was little, she found herself she found herself as a Muslim. Since she attained the age of understanding, she realized that she was a Muslim, and the Holy Prophet ﷺ used to visit their home, that is Abu Bakr Zanhu's home, almost daily. So she was able to see him from very close quarters. And then later on she had the honor of becoming his wife as well. So she says that when the trials that befell the Muslims in Mecca, and when the disbelievers exceeded the limits of their oppression and cruelty against the Muslims, Abu Bakr Zanho decided that he would migrate towards Ethiopia, and on the way he found Ibn Daghna, who was the chief of a tribe, and he asked him, "Where are you going, Abu Bakr?" And he said that my people have ousted me, and now I wish to be lost in the earth, and I wish to roam around in the earth. The great status of Abu Bakr Zanho, it can be ascertained from the fact that Ibn Daghna then said that a person like you should not leave the city, nor should anyone make you leave, because you are such a great person that no one should think that they should force you to leave, and neither should you leave by yourself. And then he said some other words about Abu Bakr Anhu as well, and he said about him that you the noble characteristics you are endowed with are such that you bring back those good deeds that have become buried, that is, those good deeds that are vanished from the world, from society. You bring them back. You try very hard to help people, try to fulfill the genuine needs of people. And these things that are mentioned about Abu Bakr Anhu, if one compares them to the words that Hazrat Khadija Anha uttered about the Holy Prophet ﷺ at an occasion in a different tradition, and this also sheds light on the fact that the Holy Prophet said Abu Bakr Anhu was on such a state of devotion that he would try his best to perform the good deeds to the fullest extent, and he tried to emulate the Holy Prophet ﷺ. And this gentleman also accepted that is what he did. So this man said that I will give you refuge, so you should return to your town and perform your worship, and no one will say anything to you. Ibn Daghna returned with the Abu Bakr Anhu. He accompanied him, and then he went and spoke to the elders of the disbelievers, and he said to them that the person who is so beneficial to others, that is Abu Bakr Anhu, should not be permitted to leave, should not be forced to leave. So he tried to convince people that someone as good as him should not leave. He said that, do you oust such a person? And he repeats those words, that he brings back the good deeds that are gone from the world, and he maintains ties of kinship, and heals rifts between family members, and he helps those who have no helper, and he is a good host to guests, and he helps people in their true needs. These are very significant good deeds which Abu Daghna explained with reference to Abu Bakr Anhu. And after saying these words, he wished to mentally convince the elders to stop Abu Bakr Anhu from leaving. The Quraysh elders did not deny any of these things that he said. They could not disagree with him. They had to accept what he said, and so they accepted his protection. He said that if you take the Abu Bakr Anhu in your protection, then we accept this. However, they did say that tell Abu Bakr Anhu not to remain within his home and worship Allah, and he should stay there and offer his salat and recite his Holy Quran. He should not do this, perform these actions in front of other people, because we are afraid that the people will be affected by this. He should not show his pain in front of people. So then Ibn Daghna went back to the Abu Bakr Anhu and told him of these matters. Abu Bakr Anhu agreed, and he started to worship Allah in his home, and he would not recite the Holy Quran, nor would he perform his salat in front of people. And then afterwards, after a few days, Abu Bakr Anhu decided to make a small mosque in his own courtyard, and there he would sit and offer salat and recite the Holy Quran. At this, the ladies and children, etc., of the disbelievers, they began to gather around in their droves, and they would watch him perform his heartfelt and emotional prayers, and they saw how he was overwhelmed by the Holy Quran while reciting it, and he would cry and would weep. So at this, the disbelievers again called Ibn Daghna to speak to him about this, and the rest of this tradition will be mentioned tomorrow, inshallah. Jazakallah. Assalamu alaikum.